Welcome to Best Laid Plans, a Malifaux podcast. Episode 12, Wastrel vs. Oni. Freshly reworked. Welcome back to Best Laid Plans. I have returned after many moons. Like I said, we're trying to do this more often, so maybe twice a year at this point. But my name is Roman, I am your host, and I am here today with two intrepid players who are going to kind of break down their thought process throughout a game as we go. We have first here Joe.
Hello.
And we have, returning, Tim.
Hey guys.
He won't leave. I tried to kick him out of my house. He just keeps showing back up.
When you're locked in a basement, it's hard.
Hey, if you get excited about being in a basement, I'm not gonna say anything about that. That's up to you. But anyway, today we are playing Plant Explosives with Flank Deployment, Deathbeds, In Your Face, Espionage, Sweating Bullets, and Protected Territory. Our table, I'm going to try and see if we can get pictures of this put onto our Instagram, since I remembered that's a thing we have. But just in case not, we're gonna describe this. We are in a kind of snowy, foresty land crisscrossed by several ends of train tracks with some flatbeds and train cars on them. There's some trees. There's bits of ice crystals around that are being concealing and impassable for us. The forests are forests. The trees are trees. And yeah, it's a nice little blend of different terrain pieces. Let's go ahead and start with our attacker. Joe, who did you bring in to this pool?
Well, I'm out for treasure, so your boy is bringing Lucas McCabe, Relic Hunter.
Okay.
He is a favorite because I love puppies too, so you obviously got your dog Luna in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Hires, I love really high soulstone minis, admittedly, so Desper, lock in for the crew. We got two Rough Riders because I go fast.
Mm-hmm.
We got one Huckster, Sadir, Corpse Curator. And just a little tidbit on Sadir, I also included the treasure map because slow boy go fast.
Yep, and that leaves you with how many stones?
5 stones.
Awesome. So yeah, that is going to be real fast in this snowy land. And Tim, how about you?
New shiny. So we got Asami Tanaka Shintaku.
Okay.
Overrated.
The errata just dropped, so we're real excited to try her out, put her on the table. Bringing in Amina Jaku, Batari, so happy to try her out. Got a reason to put her on the table.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're bringing in Story of Suzuko, 2 Yokai, a Tengu, Wonder Weasel, and Obsidian Oni.
Awesome. That'll be painful.
Yeah. I also have 5 stones and no upgrades except for the crew upgrade.
Awesome. Which, since the errata just dropped, remind us which one that is.
So with Shintaku, it allows me to, once per turn, once per activation per model, teleport through markers.
Got it.
So 8-inch teleport, everybody gets a leap.
Yeah, that's, it might be a little speedy. Maybe a little bit.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right, Tim, go ahead and get out of here, and we're going to talk about secret things with Joe for a minute.
All right. Look, he might have teleporting, but I have horsepower, so we'll figure it out.
Awesome. So, first off, what schemes did you go ahead and pick, Joe?
So we have espionage and running protected territories. The goal here is I have a really fast crew. I'm going to try to take advantage of that. I mean, Asami's looking good with the new errata, but if I can, keep myself moving, knock out some key pieces, hopefully plant some quick explosives early, keep them protected, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, especially in something like explosives, where you want to be over the center line anyway. Go fast is good. What do you think Tim took as far as his schemes?
I could see him, just because he's got a little bit more of a punchy crew, I could see him taking Deathbeds. He does have a lot of mobility, though. So, we could be playing a mirror match. If he can teleport around the map as much as he says he can, I just have to be ready for anything. So, I'm going to try to keep my Huckster back, take out anything he plants. Maybe we'll see. But it could be a mirror match, and that's kind of what wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Now, those rifts are destructible. What do you have to deal with those?
Yeah, Sadir, obviously, will blow some of that shenanigans up. That's my big one.
Yep.
And then I got my treasure map, so we got options, just depending on where we're at and what we're doing.
Yeah, and anybody within 1 inch can take the destruct as well.
Yep.
Or slam, excuse me. There is actually a name for that now. But yeah, I think that Sadir choice there is a good play. Okay. Oh, we didn't talk about bans. We are technically, this is round 2 of the GenCon Tyrant tournament, so they are playing with bans 2. What did you ban so that Tim couldn't bring it?
I banned Key and Gong, just because I didn't want to see them on the field, and then Monk.
Yeah, Monk's always a good choice. Yeah, and in this case, I don't think that was too much of a concern, because I think Tim just wanted to try the new errata stuff, but
Sure.
I think Monk is generally a good pick into Thunders overall. Cool, so we've talked about schemes, we've talked about what you think he's doing, and we've talked about your general plan, so we'll talk to you after turn 1 and see how it works and what needs to change.
Roger, thanks, Coach.
Yep. Alright, now we have our defender, Tim. Tim, what schemes did you pick?
I ended up picking Protected Territory and Espionage.
Okay. What was your thought process behind these?
Looking at it, the center of the table, I think he's going to go wider around the center of the table, so Sweating Bullets kind of was on the board. Deathbeds was up there for me too. I expect to kill stuff, especially pinging down everything with the rift markers being hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at having to get a scheme down and ping it down. So I thought, I have the Tengu, I have Suzaku, and I'm going to be teleporting with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I can get pretty wide pretty fast. So I'm thinking being able to just put down scheme markers is going to be quicker for me.
Mm-hmm.
All my guys, it's going to be a pretty... I'm thinking a setup to where it's like, oh, I have my rift marker, just my chain of rift markers. So each turn I'm just getting further and further up the board on it. So I don't think Espionage is going to be too bad. It's flank.
Yeah.
So that deployment zone's pretty close.
Yeah.
And then Protected Territory, I'm going to go wide. So
yeah, makes sense. Which again works really nicely in into Plant Explosives. Cool. What do you think he took scheme wise?
I think Espionage and I could see him taking the same ones. Espionage, Protected Territory.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think I do have 3 targets for In Your Face, Batari and Suzaku. Batari's not the easiest to kill, not the hardest either. Suzaku, we'll see how much burning I can get on the bird.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of burning in the crew right now, so we'll see. I think we're looking at Espionage, Deathbeds, or Protected Territory.
Okay.
He has 3 horses and a leaper. He has a fast crew that can go wide.
Yeah.
So it's going to be speed versus speed. I see a lot of explosives going down turn 2.
Yeah, I agree. Now, you've faced McCabe a good number of times before.
Mm-hmm.
You know how fast they can go. How fast do you think this new Asami is going to get comparatively?
So they've changed a few of the models around. I have the 2 flight models with the Tengu and Suzaku. Both move 6. They end a move, and then if there's a rift marker where they end and 1 8 inches away, they teleport there. So in 1 move, without my leap or my second move, 14, 15 inches right there, then I can walk and leap.
Yeah.
With the Tengu. I mean, you're covering distance with them. I think they're fast, and I can just shove. All my guys can just walk into a rift marker and jump 8 with a single walk.
Yeah.
I think grand total distance, it looks like a ride the rails almost, but it's not just a walk action. I could charge through them too.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And much like with Ride the Rails, I think the question is, how many actions are you taking to set up that network for that one walk to be that efficient? Is that going to be ultimately more efficient than just walking that many actions worth?
I think it will be more efficient than just walking, because let's take the yokai. They can drop one on an action and then jump to another model.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now there's a marker back behind me.
Yeah.
If there's another one up there, next turn they drop one. I now have like a 6-inch gap to where someone behind them can walk up. The Oni can drop 2 with the trigger on for like a 5, and Asami can do the same thing on her Shockwave.
Okay.
And then Aminajaku can also drop them. So I have multiple models that can drop them. So I think turn 1's going to be more of a setup turn. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So I don't know how far up the board I'm going to go turn 1.
Okay. Forgot to do this for you. We did this for Joe. Since we're doing the GenCon round 2, what did you ban against him?
Seeker and Syndicate.
Okay.
Damned is a rough model.
Yeah.
Seeker was kind of just an always banned in Explorers because the old Mikhail.
Yeah.
The old Mikhail was pretty rough, so it's like, I don't want to see him and stuff.
Yeah, and I've run him in a McCabe crew before. It's pretty great.
So the old Mikhail I wanted banned and damned, and then Syndicate, no Winston.
Yeah, that's solid. Okay. Cool. Well, we've covered general thoughts and plans, and we've covered schemes. I think we're good. Let's break, and we'll come back after round 1.
All right.
All right, round 1 is over. We are back with Joe. Joe, what went well round 1?
Yeah, so I was able to spread a lot of fasts around. I got models all over the place. I mean, I have a Huckster in one corner, a Rough Rider in the other. So I'm in a pretty good spot to start setting up for some scheme and some strats, but strat and schemes. But the ability of Asami to get everywhere, anywhere. My one Rough Rider on the right flank is pressured by, I can't remember the name of the henchman, but the Batari is right up in my grill on one side. I got a Tengu on the other side where my Huckster is. So I think winning the middle is going to be the key for me. So McCabe, Rough Rider, Sadir, everyone's kind of bunched up to go fight for the middle, and I think that's going to be a point of emphasis for me this round.
Okay, interesting. So getting a lot of fast, spreading out like you planned to do, went well. Dealing with the fact that Asami's models jumping through the portals got pretty quickly kind of redeployed into 2 separate sections.
My opponent was able to drop 10 portals in round 1. I mean, it was pretty incredible, and even with that just 6 inches of movement after the fact or within, it really made me feel like I lost board state or board presence, so have to readjust as we go.
Yeah. If right now you could talk to you from like beginning of the turn as initiative flipped, what would you tell yourself to do differently to help with that specifically?
I think I might have just bubbled up a little bit more and waited just to see what he was going to do. I think taking out a couple minions, lowering his activation count because he can't summon more, having a more focused fire when this turn comes around would be better. Where now I'm a little more spread, my guns are on 2 different sides of the table, and I have to either make a move with my Rough Rider or my Huckster. One of them is probably going to go this turn. But, he has to flip too, and I still got good cards.
Yeah, I agree there. Cool. Based on what he's doing, any idea on if your thoughts on what schemes he took might be changing? Do you think he took something different, or is it still what you were thinking?
I think he's probably going for espionage.
Okay.
I think protected territory is also possible because he's spreading out so much.
Okay.
He's very quick. I think scheming is definitely, throwing out ski markers all over the place is easy for his crew, more so than I anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I'm looking for. I don't think he's going for deathbeds. I could be wrong. Sweating bullets maybe, but I'm pretty sure he's got protected territory and espionage.
Okay. Based on that, what is your plan for next turn?
I'm probably gonna slightly pull back or go deeper in. I know that sounds funny, but try to get more into his deployment zone, maybe get some flanking around him, or pick out some of the stragglers if I can, while also keeping my models protected. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of my Rough Rider or my Huckster is going to be in for a rough turn,
mm-hmm.
but, he's also exposed. But on the right flank, my Rough Rider's more exposed, the Huckster's got more support, so it'll just depend on the initiative flip, and then we, go for the worst after that.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll see how it goes after turn 2.
I'm gonna huck on over here.
Yay, we have a Tim. All right, round 1 is done. How did your plan go? What went well?
Hindsight, I have Batari chasing one Rough Rider that's off in a corner by itself. So she's an easy diving charge away from being into Sadir as well. So I'm happy about that.
Okay.
Yeah, the teleporting is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's makes me fast. They're jumping around a bunch. I think grand total I put 10 down and 2 got removed. I ate one with Amina Jocko and he smashed one.
Okay.
I was able to get 1 explosive down. Was aiming for 2, but I failed a dark bargain. So I was like, okay, I'll just put it down with someone else.
Yeah.
It is close to his 3 of his guys that have explosives, so he has to now move around a little bit more to put one down. So got an edge on points there. Didn't throw down any schemes yet. This next round we'll start putting more effort into actually putting schemes down, but he's got a big clump. I'm gonna try to probably go early with Asami, start dropping some rift markers right by him and get stuff into him real quick.
Okay.
Seemed pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Sounds like the main thing that maybe didn't go according to plan was missing that dark bargain.
Yeah, but I just
pretty
jumped the
minor thing.
Tengu over there and made him just interact to drop his.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, not bad. What in this turn with the new Asami, was there anything you were concerned Joe might do that could screw up your unpack with the marker jumping?
not so much with the unpack. I was more worried about where he's positioning Sadir. Because if I have too many clumped up, he just blows it to hell, gets rid of all my markers. I don't have a start point for a jump.
Yeah.
So depending how early he goes with Sadir and where he... I don't think Sadir has an upgrade, so as of right now, Sadir will probably use Blow to Hell this round.
Sadir has treasure maps, so the other thing he can do is eat 1, but why would you eat 1 when you can just blow it to hell?
Blow up a lot. So looking at it that way, little word for Sadir. I think he actually gave Asami slow and staggered.
Nice. Well, not good for you, but...
Well, it helped me get burning on my bird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
wind up bird.
Yeah.
I went ahead and took slow off, and then if I go early with Suzaku, I'll take staggered off, and staggered's not that big of an issue for me, though. If I have a marker, I can jump 6.
Yeah.
So, walk 1 inch, jump 6 inches. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's not too bad. And this is the one where she's doing the friendly movement. There's not a ton of other friendly movement moving her around, as I recall.
Yeah, no. I guess Batari could, if you wanted to, but...
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at seeing how it goes. I think going early with her and getting more markers put down will be good. We'll see. Hoping I can just kind of stack a bunch up and he has to just eat through them and take little pings damage and launch yokais in there and start punching.
There you go. Any difference in thoughts in what schemes he took based on this turn?
I think he took espionage.
Okay.
He's going out to the flanks, so I'm thinking either he wants to go wide and just drop explosives real far apart from each other, or we're looking at not information overload. What's the other one? Protected territory. The new spread.
Yep.
So I think we definitely have protected territory in there for him.
Okay.
The other one, I'm still thinking espionage, but we'll see.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, your plan for round 2 is essentially go early with Asami, get out more rifts, cause problems.
Yeah, I'd like to also go ahead and jump back with I want to go early with Asami, get some rifts on him, get 1 rift over by his huckster down in the corner, and just have like a yokai jump over there, drop his, and charge into that huckster. Even at manipulative, cool, you're locked in place now. They can secret passage out, but you can't interact.
Yeah.
No, don't mind me. So
yeah. Okay, cool. What that he could do right now would you be the most concerned about early turn 2?
If he started with Sadir and handed out, I think I have like 3 rift markers right by. I have a little clump of guys. I think it's Yokai, Kamatachi, and Asami and Suzaku. There's like 2 or 3 rift markers right there by him, which is my starting point for jumps. If he blows it to hell right there and gets rid of all those, I'll have to drop. One of the ones I'm dropping to try and spread around more will have to be right beside me to bring more starting points. So I think that's just going to be a action that would slow me down.
Yeah.
Detrimental maybe not, but definitely a hiccup have to go over.
Yeah, and that would... Getting that down to 1 would definitely make that kind of a choke point, because then even if you put 1 down, he can get someone over there before everybody jumps away. Yeah. Okay, I can see where that is the like I said, choke point. Okay, cool. Let's see how turn 2 goes. All right. And we're back after turn 2 with Joe. Joe, what went well for you this round?
Well, we're tied at points.
Yep.
It's 3-3. So we both we picked the same schemes. Should have figured. So that went well. Mm-hmm. So I'm still in the game literally. So good times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What did not go well for you this time?
Yeah, pretty much everything. So Asami was pretty wide open. I had upgrades on both McCabe and on Desper. Looking at the board, I just decided, hey, I think it'd be a really great idea if I can take Asami out of the game.
Which upgrades did you have out?
So I had my sword, the Time-Worn Blade.
Time-Worn Blade, yeah.
Time-Worn Blade. So, okay, I mean, if there was some defensive stuff, it'd be gone. Obviously, it was irrelevant because Asami doesn't have any of that. So, I figured, feeling pretty good. I can get in there, smash. So, I found out that if you don't flip well, that's not going to work. So, Desper went in there, punched hard, but didn't punch hard enough.
Did get that red Joker damage with the double crit strike.
Yep.
That was nice.
And then Tim followed up with a couple stones used, some really good defensive flips. So Desper ended up dying that turn. And then Lucas got in there, smashed a little bit, but that was a pretty big play error. But hey, I mean, I thought it was going to work, didn't, and here we are.
Mm-hmm. I know another thing that went well for you is that Sadir... Blow it to hell.
Yes.
That helped out a lot.
Yep. Sadir took out 3 portal markers at once, really shifted the game, so Tim had to adjust, which he adjusted fine. He still scored all of his points. I scored all mine, but now I'm down 2 activations, so, we're going to have to work around that a little bit, but hopefully I can stay fast.
Yep. So, based on this turn, what is your plan going forward? What adjustments are you making? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing is to just stay away. I need to get away from him. I need to try to score my points or deny his. Take advantage of my pass tokens. Try to get my Rough Riders to safety. One's got down to 1 life. So if I can get the initiative on the turn, get him out of there, ride with me, hopefully land on my bonus action so I can heal and just stay mobile. That's going to be the goal. McCabe is a thorn in his side. He's not really handling McCabe very well, so hopefully I can keep doing that, and Sadir keeps smashing portals as he goes. The blow it up has been huge, so anyone who's playing against Asami has a way to blow up portals multiple at a time. Highly recommend.
Yep. In your plan, as far as keeping mobile, are you considering, or are you keeping in mind doing like a walk charge or other movements so that you're not getting that extra rift down? Because that's going to make it easier for him to follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I learned that the hard way. Obviously, when I was going in with Desper, I created a portal marker, and then that took me a couple extra damage. Same thing with McCabe, took a couple damage. So anybody that's going to play against this crew really needs to follow up with the walk, charge if they're not in right away. And don't use the same action twice. It's just not worth it. It adds up way too quickly. He has 10 portals out. He can make a turn plus. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. It very much reminds me of the first time playing against Molly, because she has a similar thing of if I see you as you declare an action that you've already done, bad stuff happens to you. You find out. You have to think outside the box when dealing with those crews, for sure. I think this crew's doing that, and also has combined another thing that the first time you really deal with it in your face is tricky, is the hazardous. So kind of combining those two is a whole new math problem to deal with. And for the first time seeing it, anybody who's played Malifaux for a minute knows, like, the first time you see a new thing, much more likely for it to kick your ass because you don't know. Like, you can read the cards, but that's not the same as seeing it on the table. I would say you're doing pretty well at managing that for a first time seeing it. So, good luck on turn 3.
Thank you very much.
Alright, and here we are with Tim take a ping of damage.
Yeah. That was,
Yeah, that's. I think that if I had a nickel for every time you said that this turn, I could buy a new house.
It was rough.
Yeah. What went well for you?
Lots of ping damage.
Yeah.
He did take the schemes, same schemes as me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3-3 right now. Got Desper.
Yep.
Which he had 2 tokens on him, so Asami's holding 3 now.
Yeah.
Getting Desper was big. Got him with the yokai, so built-in trigger to heal.
Mm-hmm.
That helped. Kamatachi came over and healed. And then she also, on her activation, healed.
How many points did she heal?
Kamatachi failed 1. He healed her 2. Yokai healed her 2. She healed 2 herself. She healed 6 total.
That's gross.
Between 3 activations.
It's split up at least, so that's something. But damn, that's a lot of different healing vectors for sure.
She still has 2 or 3 on her.
Okay.
So, I mean,
yeah.
Altogether, he got her down close to dead. And I flipped a severe on a stone to reduce 2, and I think I flipped moderate on the other, so that's a reduction of 5 there.
Yeah. So, if not for some lucky flips, he'd have her down.
He did enough damage to kill her that turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I think same thing as last turn. Got to go early with her. There's a rift marker right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
So, walk
out of
engagement,
Mm-hmm.
drop a marker, walk some more.
Yeah.
Or start throwing more rift markers down.
Got it. Makes sense. What's your biggest concern as he comes at you this turn?
I think McCabe can hit me hard enough to where I have 2 stones left. I'll probably have to use them to reduce damage, or at least get him on a negative flip. But I think he has Sadir and McCabe right there by Asami. So I'm worried about Asami, but at this point, besides the fact she has 3 tokens on her, which 2 of them are his, if he kills Asami, I'm spread out enough that I can still get my points. And it just comes down to who's going to deny a point at that point. So, big worry there is just like how many resources am I willing to keep her alive for the turn. If I get initiative, go first. And get her out of there, make him work for it a little bit. Other than that, yeah, just everyone's spread out doing stuff.
Yep. What's your plan to counter the rest of his points?
So he does have 1 scheme marker in his deployment zone currently. Suzaku's back there. I can just go eat it. That'll get rid of espionage. He has to come back now and drop 1 back there. And then there's a Rough Rider out on the flank by himself. Get rid of him. It's going to be... He still has room to do protected territory, but it's 1 less model way out there, and I can pick up the strategy he's by.
Okay.
So it's just him and Batari. He has 7 health. Batari can only hit 5 damage, 6 on severe. So 2 swing with her, but spend the swings and get over there and at least make him run away. If he runs away, I just pick up that marker, walk away with it.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, you kill him, you pick up the marker next turn.
Yeah. So.
All right, well, we'll see how that goes. Best of luck in turn 3.
Thanks, bud.
And we're back after turn 3 with Joe.
Hello.
What went well for you this turn, Joe?
Well, we still scored points. We're 4-4 at the end of the turn. I didn't lose any models. That was a positive. Yeah, we're still in. McCabe's real fast, so having McCabe and Sadir, that's been what's helpful. Been the most helpful is just playing explosives, just blowing up, or not playing explosive. Sadir's
blow it to hell.
Blow it to hell. That's been huge. So again, if you happen to be playing McCabe, Sadir's to me an auto include against Asami in any capacity. Yeah, I mean at this point the whole goal is now McCabe's got 2 explosive markers. He's going to drop them. He's got to go try to grab the other markers. He is Indiana Jones, so he should be able to get in and out of sticky situations and go from there. But that's the game plan, and everyone else is just trying to survive.
Okay.
You know, we got to try to get his explosive markers because I lost 2 turn 1 once Desper died. So, you know, that's it. It's try to stop him from scoring more, and then we got to start getting some schemes because, you know, there's only 2 turns left, so we don't have a lot to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Any specifics on those plans other than McCabe go fast and Dropping schemes.
Yeah, so Asami actually had 3 explosive tokens. She just dropped 2 this turn. So I'm not going to be able to take Asami out. It's not worth trying. So trying to follow up with her because the Tim's Tengu and Tim's other model that's being proxied for a different one, Suzaku is too far out, and it's going to be a waste of time to try to go all the way back in 2 turns to try to pull those explosive markers. So Asami is accounting for 3. I can potentially get 2 more out of them, and I think that's going to be the best move.
Okay, cool. As far as your schemes, I know we're going into turn 4 and not 5, but are you planning on setting up for them this turn, or...?
As long as the Rough Riders survive. Okay. They're both looking rough. I kind of feel like Sadir at this point just needs to be a thorn in his side, getting rid of markers, and then if Sadir can maybe interact with one of the current explosive markers, get a little bit closer, that might help, but it's just going to be tough. The model count's low. I will have a couple pass tokens, but I got to get something out of my guys before they die. Yeah.
The good thing about losing models is you have fewer models to allocate cards to, so.
Exactly.
Best of luck on that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Nice thing about later in the turns is these go fast.
Absolutely.
Best of luck on your card flips.
Awesome. Thank you.
And here we have Tim after turn 3. What went well for you this turn?
Took out a Rough Rider. Other one's almost dead, and he walked away from that marker back there, so I can just pick it up.
Okay.
With that marker back there, his Huckster dropped 1 in my deployment zone, and McCabe has 2, so he's only holding a max of 4 markers. If I pick that one up, he's maxed out at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Already set up scheme marker in his deployment zone, and I have 4 strategies laid down with 2 more to drop.
Mm-hmm. So, you worried about him picking up any of those 4?
One of them. Okay. It's close to Sadir. Sadir, it's in Severe, though, so I don't think he's pushed for his Deadly Pursuit, so we'll go remind him to push for Deadly Pursuit. After that, he is probably a walk, interact away if he does it. If he doesn't, or I go first, Suzaku is a walk, charge, hop with the charge, up we go, steer out of there.
Okay.
Or just stay by that marker with a 2-inch engagement to where you can't interact.
Yeah.
So I think the 1 marker he might pick up is safe. We'll see. I need to work on getting some schemes down, and then for protected territory, it's 10 inches apart within 3 of one of my models for the second point.
Yeah.
I got 1 scheme down for it, which means I'm just going to leave like my Yokai or Obsidian just sitting over there by it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably also go ahead and drop a scheme on the center line while they're over there.
Makes sense.
So I think now it's just more the denial game than looking at how to deny the points. I think if I can get Suzuku over to Sadir, it's going to be a up we go, take a point, land in more hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
Just have fun.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
It's gonna be
it'll be fun.
My master action this turn was interact, walk, interact, though. So
yeah, but at the point where you're set up as you are in this game, I don't think that's a horrible way to do it.
No, and she is also just a jump, 1 walk away from being right back by that strategy marker,
mm-hmm.
and then just surrounding it in hazardous.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, best of luck on turn 4, and we will see you after the fact. All right, we're back from turn 4 with Joe. Joe, what went well for you, turn 4?
Well, like I said, Lucas McCabe is a real fast horse riding maniac, so able to get the strat that was big, staying in the game. We're still tied,
mm-hmm.
so that's great. It's definitely getting tougher.
Mm-hmm.
The noose is tightening, so to speak. I think Jack Dawes behind me or something. But he's starting to thin me out a little bit more. Kind of what we were expecting. Sadir's gone. That was pretty big sad. So, lost an explosive marker, but we're still kind of hanging in there. Trying to set some schemes up, but it's looking a little rough.
Yeah, because you at this point at the end of 4, you don't have any more strat markers. So if you want to get that 4th strat marker, you're going to have to go get one from somewhere else. Is that in your plan for turn 5?
Certainly going to try. We're going to look at the board, see what we can do. Again, it all comes down to our captain, our host, Lucas McCabe, because, one huckster with only two activations, or excuse me, 2 action points isn't going to do it. And the Rough Riders holding on for dear life. So I will say the Stone Cold Fox in our crew is, our good old puppy Luna. Luna's survived and survived stronger than anything else I have. So go figure.
Yep. And you got a solid heal of 4 off on your Rough Rider over there by Batari this turn. That was cool to see.
It was definitely a positive.
Hey,
see what I did there?
I did.
It was definitely good. Definitely secured, one more model, one more activation that I didn't have. But it's we're fighting upstream a little bit. So
yep, cool.
Yeah.
So going into turn 5, what is your plan?
The plan, turn 5, we're trying to get our schemes going. We'll see about the strat. It's not looking hot, so we're gonna do the best we can. I think at the end of 4. Really see where we're at and go from there.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, and we're back after turn 4 with Tim. Tim, what went well for you that turn?
On a negative flip, severe damage against Sadir. Got him out.
Gross.
Yeah. Before he was aiming to do what I thought he would, try and grab that one marker. Cheated up, got Suzuku in there. Up we go to him, and he died. Picked up the other marker on the corner with Batari. So he has 3 strategy markers down. He can't deny my point. I'm holding too many. And I don't see him getting a 4th point, because he doesn't have any more to drop.
Okay.
Scheme-wise, it's a toss-up on what he can finish. I think Protected will be a tough one. If I save Suzuku for a late activation, I might be able to displace far enough away from a scheme marker to where he can't get Protected. But I still need to set up my Protected. My Espionage is set up. Protected is not yet, but it shouldn't be tough to.
Got it. Any concern of him denying your Espionage by removing a marker?
No. I think he's down to... Well, can Luna remove markers?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, yeah. I think it's down to his models have... If he wants to score the points, he has to have his models do the job, whereas I can leave my models.
Okay.
So...
Got it.
But we'll see. I mean,
all right.
He's got guns.
He does have guns. This is true. Guns and horses. All right. Best of luck. We'll come back after turn 5. All right. We have both Joe and Tim back after turn 5 here. Gentlemen, Joe, let's start with you. How'd that turn out?
Not ideal.
Okay.
But, we certainly played a interesting game. Sami definitely seemed good. A lot of really interesting mechanics and abilities. Was not expecting the rift markers at all to be as good as they were. Definitely felt
Pinged?
a little pinged. Got pinged a few times.
Yep. So before we get into too many details, we ended up at an 8-6 play in Asami's favor. On this last turn, Joe got his protected territory. It was pretty close on Espionage, but it ended up just being Tim had too many actions and could deny that last scheme that was needed. And Tim got all 3 of his just because he had the actions available. But, Joe, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about facing Asami? How are you feeling about playing McCabe this game? Just in general.
Yeah, I think McCabe definitely, like we've always talked about, he's a great generalist. He's very fast. I think Asami too, maybe isn't necessarily faster, but has a lot more diversity. I feel like my speed is more individual based, where Asami's much more widespread. Not as far, like we discussed. The 6-inch movement through the markers is huge, but definitely taking more advantage of by fast, and I'd say a little bit slower play on my side, maybe letting the play develop a little bit more to me. But it was cool. Asami's a rock star for sure. And Tim likes to ping damage. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's happening.
We're going to get Tim a shirt that says, take a ping of damage, because that was said many times this game.
Well, and yesterday. And anytime you play Lynch.
Yeah. I'm used to getting pinged for damage. I don't know. It's our thing.
Tim's a bad person, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And if you come across him in real life, you should shame him.
Take a ping of damage.
Because you will take a ping of damage. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
No, we like Tim. We like Tim fun. Tim, how'd you feel about your choices in crew and in seeing what Joe did with McCabe?
Seeing how he kept the Rough Rider a little further back initially on the first turn and second turn, so it took me a bit to catch up to him and take him down. With that, Asami herself, Shintaku was so much fun, and now people will be playing her. I expect to see a couple of Asami players at GenCon.
Okay.
A lot of fun seeing the riff markers work, and lots of people can get riff markers out, jumping around, just doing all kinds of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The bird flying, jumping, using Up We Go. The Tengu flight 6, leap into a riff marker, jump another 6 inches, walk again.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a lot of moving parts. I think we counted turn 1, I put 10 out and lost 2, and then after, I don't think I was putting him out really in turn 3 because I had so many out where I wanted them. I wasn't looking to set anything else up.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just put him out to do something or ping it. But the rift markers were a lot of fun. I'm excited to see Asami 1 on the table too. Just so there'll be a different method of madness with the rift markers.
Yeah, because then you're still getting you're not getting the movement jumps, but you're able to charge and attack through weird.
You're arcing through them, so it's different vectors of attack.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much. The crew will slow down some, but
they're gonna reach out and touch you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
neat. Joe, if you could go back to pregame here and tell yourself, your several hours younger self, to do a couple things different, what would they be?
Definitely destroy rift markers as they come. Just get rid of them because they were too good. Not too good like they were broken or anything. They were just very effective in slowing down my strategy. Maybe a little bit different crew selection. And then I would definitely not put Desper. I definitely wouldn't have put Desper into the situation Desper was in. He did have the upgrade, couple swings, but throwing Desper into Asami held out just fine. So if you're going to go for, I feel like something else has to be done.
I will say, I know we talked about that going in. I think the one thing, I think you did a great job sitting Desper in there and doing a lot of damage with it. I think the only difference on that play would have been instead of tossing the blade, leaping away.
Yeah.
Because we on Tim's turn coming up here after that turn, he broke down the math of you did more damage than necessary to kill her. It was just that he was getting lucky on the stones and the heals to get more than minimums there.
Sure.
Because we'd figured out even if he'd just done minimums on all but one of them, she was dead.
Excluding, if you just take away the damage from stones that I reduced, I reduced 5 damage from stones that turn on her. That's a chunk. That's almost half her health.
Yeah. So, yeah, the sending Desper in definitely was it worked out well for you, minus Tim's luck. But yeah, I think that leaping away would at least force him to come after you. I think that's a good change to tell your younger self. Anything else? Or you mentioned crew hiring differences. Anything specific come to mind on that front?
Yeah, so I did play with the idea of, we talked about playing botanists, getting rid of something else to get rid of markers. I think that would have been really great. I just didn't have a lot of experience with them, so I didn't feel strongly about it.
Okay.
I thought about taking the emissary just as something different to try, but I don't think that would have been as effective as I would have wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I was kind of, while watching the game, I was thinking of things to recommend for something like this. I know in the future facing Asami, I would definitely say look and see if it's a pool you can bring McCabe 2 into, because he has Depths of Malifaux, so he goes, rift markers, I don't care.
Yeah.
The Cryptologists have that as well. So that could be potential. I don't know that that would have been, like, loading up on those, I don't know that that would have been great for this pool, but as far as matchup goes, that's definitely something to consider.
It gives you that one Rough Rider on the flank that Batari almost took out. Mm-hmm. It would have given him a buddy.
Yeah,
that's true.
He could have, like, taxied around with a Cryptologist. Mm. Now, they didn't have to deal with rift markers all the way over there.
Right.
But it does give, if the Oni decided to start shooting markers at you and stuff, then he'd have a buddy over there to where once you walked away from it, I just had to go pick up that marker and leave.
Right.
Yep. And the other trick with the Cryptologist is their bonus action, and you were kind of running into this, I think, with McCabe, because you were going, let's focus on the fast, but to do that you have to throw the upgrades around with your bonus action. And a lot of McCabe's guys have good bonus actions you want to use. That's definitely a thought I've found myself thinking playing McCabe a number of times is, do I want to focus on the fast, or do I want to get an upgrade? Maybe I'll have one out to, like, throw between 2 or 3 people working over here. That one's staying on that guy, and I'm just keeping it for where it needs to be. And you find the balance there. But the Cryptologist, their bonus action is make a friendly take an action on an upgrade. Mm-hmm. So they can go, hey, toss that to me. Mm-hmm. And then you still get ride with me or something like that.
Definitely. My only other alibi, I'd say, is I think the Corpse Curator could be dropped. It was okay, but it was not... It was just fine. Like, sure, it did a couple cool things, but it didn't help that much.
I think turn 1 and 2, you were able to draw the card off of it. And then after that, it was just like, I'm going to pick up this marker from Asami, and then, I died, I dropped it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I think it's a body. The dredge up's nice, because, I mean, if you play it a certain way, you can move around my ski markers where it's like, oh, I see that one on the center. It's no longer on the center line. Yep. But
it just wasn't.
I think it could have been dropped.
We could have this list could have been a little bit better.
Yeah,
I think that would be my big critique on that.
So
it's okay.
We've played a few times now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, like, taking the break between rounds, or even coming up before the round, looking at the pool? Because, like, if we play, it's game night. It's like, hey, pool's in. Let's go. We're starting to move.
Sure.
How do you feel looking at it now and being like, oh, I think he's going to take this scheme and this scheme, and actually, like, having that moment to think about it in your head and then start thinking about, like, what to deny or how to deny or what to expect?
Yeah, I think as a newer player to the game, I've been around tabletop games for years and years and years, since I was a little kid even, and Malifaux's just got so much more depth, and being able to take the time to assess what you were doing, look at the board, and take a second to step away. That's been huge for me. It definitely helped a ton. When you're playing a game night, you're just trying to get your 5 rounds in and go. But, hey, sometimes you miss things. It's loud. It can be a little chaotic. And I'd recommend to anybody, play in a slower pace. Take a little bit more time in between your turns so that way you don't miss the little things. Again, looting my corpse and drawing my card or whatever. I miss it 2 or 3 times a turn, and it's like, oh wait, forgot about that. Hold on.
Yep.
You don't miss the little things so much when you got a little more time, and I think that was a huge help for me.
Awesome. Now you just get to start internalizing that in your own games normally without me pulling you over to a microphone in between turns.
Yeah.
No, we got to do this every time.
Just do the same thing that plenty of us do, to remember, like, the front of card ability that happens at random times. Like, circle it.
Yep.
Looted supplies. Circled. Betrayal.
Big star next to it.
I'm going to square it just because you said circle and squaring it.
Other than that, I mean, I was okay with my list. I don't think I'd change too much on it.
Yeah.
It seemed really good.
I know you've brought up Suzaku a couple times. I know on paper, literally before you came over today, you were like, I don't know how I feel about the bird. And then you came over, you tried her out, you really liked her. What was the light bulb moment that made her
I think it's the errata itself.
Okay.
In old Asami and old Shintaku, I don't see what the bird brings so much.
Okay.
Like, sure, there's still the portal element to Shintaku, or the older version of it, but now it's like, I can put these portals everywhere. It's not just someone else doing it. I can put all these portals out, and so the mobility of the bird and a 2-inch melee coming in off of a jump and everything. And then, like, in Asami 1, I'm looking at it, and it's like, oh, I can charge from way over here, hit a rift marker 8 inches away from me, and then I have a 2-inch melee off of that.
Yeah.
I can displace from range. With Up We Go. So Still don't see a whole lot in story. It's another 8-cost scheme runner like Sun Wukong, but Sun Wukong's doing it better. But in Asami, I can see bringing the bird more. It's just building a list that needs it.
Yeah.
So not every pool, but...
I was going to say, I think the way you described it when you got here was it's slightly slower than a Tengu, but tankier.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the leap, so it's slightly slower. It has more offensive capability, and tankier if you can get the burning on it. You put slow on Asami, I think, turn 2, and I was like, oh, I'll eat that. Now I have burning 2. Cool, I got a little bit of armor. I will say, I think it was in between turns 2 and 3, I came up here and I was like, yeah, he's going to try to crush Asami with McCabe. I'm going to have to use all my stones and stuff. And then you moved away and went for points. And I think that pivot point was real big on, like, you're not focused on, like, I just got to punch and punch and punch. It was like, nope, I'm moving away, I'm interacting, I'm dropping a strategy marker. I was like, okay, yeah, that's points.
Yep. That was a light bulb to see coming over your head, Joe. Like, okay, the bloodlust has subsided, so like stepping away for the moment is helpful like that. I know the version of that I've done, or I've grown to do in real games is, or like not recording games, is if I recognize, oh, I'm really focused on this one thing, whether it's killing or whatever the case may be, that's a sign to me that I need to pull out my app and go, what am I actually doing that gets me points? And that I've gotten to the point where that's enough of a mental step away from the table that I've found that really helps. Whatever version of that works for you, you'll find it. But yeah, I think that's a really good mention to say about this game overall. Cool. All right, well, that is Best Laid Plans. I still don't have a good sign-off here, so go play more games and think about what you're doing in between turns, and we'll all have fun.
Then take a ping of damage.
Have a good night, everybody.
Music used in this production are Onion Capers, Marty Got's a Plan, and 5-Card Shuffle. All music is created by Kevin MacLeod and is used under Creative Commons.